because obviously Thursday was, I call it the non-tampering, well, the tamper-free
Hmm.
part of the NBA free agency. So we knew some things were going to happen, some flurry. But I tell you, when Kevin Durant, this is per Shams, announced that he wanted to trade, you talking about like Twitter went crazy, ESPN went crazy. It was like you know how like if you watch CNN and they always have like the breaking news story and it's always flashing red. I'm telling you that whole entire hour between like 3 to maybe like 4:30, it was that what was going on. No baseball scores, no nothing was going on. The biggest news: Kevin Durant seeks a trade. So what a Thursday that we had. So, fellas, your thoughts on the trade, thoughts on his trade request, and then also where do you can see him going? Like as far as just your thoughts on that. I'm gonna go with you first, Jordan. What you got?
The thing about Kevin Durant is where is he going to be happy? He was in the Seattle, of course, he was a supersonic before they moved to Oklahoma City. And then he goes to Golden State where he wins a couple of championships. And then he goes to Brooklyn, which, of course, we know Brooklyn had a big three with James Harden and Kyrie Irving. Where is he going to be happy? That's a question I can't answer right now for him. But the couple of places I could see, it's so hard to say where is he going to be happy. I mean, I've seen rumors that maybe he's going to go back to Golden State. The two that kind of make sense to me is either Portland or Phoenix. The reason why I say Portland is they've got Damian Lillard. You add another superstar with Kevin Durant, and then if you look at the Phoenix Suns, who Chris knows on our NBA Carousel show that I am the representative for the Phoenix Suns, even though that I'm a Denver Nuggets fan. The thing that I look at it is you have Chris Paul, you have Devin Booker, you need one superstar. And we saw what happened in that game 7 against Dallas. They had no answer for Luka Doncic. So I think if you put Kevin Durant with Devin Booker, you've got Chris Paul, one of the best point guards, who's going to pass the ball to them. The question I have is that can be too many balls to go around, but I could see Kevin Durant going to Phoenix and actually helping them get over the hump of going. Obviously, we know 2 years ago, they went to the NBA Finals. This year, they got out of the second round. So could he be the guy to lift them over to the NBA Finals as a championship? Who knows?
Yeah, big time. What you got, Maui? Your thoughts?
Um, I got a lot of thoughts with it, but honestly, first off, I don't know. Somebody said it today. I kind of think it's cap. Like he just saying it to help it, maybe help Kyrie out to get the long term deal. Because when I look at the whole scenario, the best really place for him to be is right where he's at. If he go anywhere else, it's a lot of okay. Let's say this. When he was in OKC, they should have kept Harden there, and I think it was another player they should have kept. They didn't. So then eventually he ended up going to Golden State. They still lost a nucleus there. They lost some of their bench, which made them have to play harder and longer, which in the end got them all hurt. You know what I mean? Everybody got hurt. You know what I mean? Which was a lot of mileage. And so I don't know. I think these players are really working together based upon the leverage that they're using. And I definitely Kevin Durant. I don't know where Kevin Durant has been happy at. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think he's ever been happy, but I think he just loves to play basketball. And I think that's one of the things with him is he's trying to find himself in some type of way. I give you an example. That commercial he had with LeBron, it's like LeBron done already found himself, and Kevin Durant is still trying to get to that place to find himself in some type of way. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just guessing. I was like, why don't he just come home? Why don't he just go play for the Wizards? You know what I mean? Maybe something like that DC DMV thing might just infuse him to be where he want to be at or something. Because I don't think he's ever been. I always felt like when he went to the Nets, it was all hustle. I think it still was successful, but I still think it was all game. Like they really didn't play much for him. They still went to the Eastern Conference, but still was always some type of drama. He started doing more Twitter and arguing with people more. It just seemed, I don't know. It just seemed like it was all cap to me. Now, where do I like for him to go? I don't think he should go to Golden State. I heard Toronto. They said something about Toronto, but I want y'all, if y'all can explain to me because it seemed like it's extremely hard for him to be traded. Like they were like
Mhm.
dealing with rookie extension contracts, and it's so weird because I don't understand any of this, but I'm happy because it's helping me understand a little bit more than what watching a couple channels and people just saying, "Oh, he wants to go here" or "He wants to go here." It's like diving into the what's really in the ingredients of why this stuff is not moving like it's supposed to. But I do think he's requested a trade because Kyrie didn't get the contract he wanted, and that's why Kyrie opted in.
Yeah. And what's difficult about it, essentially, because you look at, and even in this cycle, Javante Murray, what they end up giving up, what,
Right.
3 first-round picks for him. Rudy Gobert going to
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota cost them
Hmm.
and I think what 3 of those like unprotected. I think
Hmm.
four unprotected. All 4 of those
Mm-hmm.
unprotected. Come to think about it. And
Right.
so if they are getting that, what on earth is Kevin Durant is going to get? Like, that's the thing where this is going to be unprecedented. Like, it's funny. I forgot. It might have been Zach Lowe, at first I was, how like in the moment you're like, it's some hyperbole. When he
Hmm.
said it's probably going to be the biggest star being traded since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I thought about it. I was like, you know what? He has a point, because we never really had a guy at this level in his life, especially a guy like a Kevin Durant getting traded. And then you think about just the haul that it would command is crazy. Like, mhm.
I will say, yeah. I mean, I've seen so many trade rumors. Of course, some crazy, I don't remember who it was. They were talking about, oh, how you could land Kevin Durant with the Nuggets. You'd have to basically give up with the farmer. It was like MPJ, Aaron Gordon, a couple of draft picks, and there was another team involved, and they'd get rid of Zeke Najee, as well as a couple of draft picks for Kevin Durant and Eric Bledsoe. But I'm sitting there going, as a Nuggets fan, as much as I like Kevin Durant, that is too much to give up. I don't want to give up Michael Porter Jr. or Aaron Gordon just for him, because who knows if Kevin Durant's going to stay beyond 1 year. And the tricky part about a trade is you still have to match salaries. I don't know what his salary is going to be versus what the Nuggets could give. It's just, I don't want Kevin Durant as much as I like him. I think the Nuggets, though, with a healthy Michael Porter Jr., he's basically just as good of a shooter as Kevin Durant. I know Kevin Durant is better, but it's just
Right.
Kevin Durant. I'd rather have Michael Porter Jr. a lot younger.
Look, even
Cheaper.
I saw somebody said the Pelicans, right? And I was like, well, you got Brandon Ingram. They
Mm-hmm.
basically the same damn player. To be
Right.
honest with you, Kevin Durant's better, more expensive, experience, but Brandon Ingram basically the same player. Like honestly, a lot of, but I heard Perkins say earlier, and that's the truth. A lot of these teams should be that don't have somebody like a Kevin Durant really should be trying to figure out a way to get him. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at Charlotte. Something's crazy going on in Charlotte, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
why don't they try to figure out something to go get him? You know what I mean? Because it seemed
Mm-hmm.
like, and like I said, the Wizards. I'm not even mad at the Suns because DeAndre Ayton don't want to be there.
That's true.
Yeah. And the thing with Charlotte was sucks for them, because the piece that would have been attractive is out the picture.
Right.
That's
So
true.
that's a thing where that would have been somewhat of a destination potentially. But the thing with this is it's so weird, because the only thing I can think of is almost like you gotta really think, like, what is Sean Marks is thinking, the next GM, because you gotta think to
Mm-hmm.
yourself, yes, we want to get first round picks, get unprotected picks, but the team that we trade for probably more likely is going to be in at least probably from 25 to maybe 30. They're going to be a top 5 team in the NBA. So
Mm-hmm.
what are you really going to get out of that? So then, because we all, when those type of trades, you want like a combination of a few things. Obviously, you want like young assets, all-star,
Mhm.
and you want something like somewhat of a core. The only thing I can really think of is potentially like as spots. Probably conceivable is probably Golden State, where at least they can give up the most and give the more
Yeah.
bang for your
That's
buck.
true.
Because if I'm Sean Marks, and I'm not, I didn't even really consider any draft capital, because I think that's kind of tongue in cheek to me, because it's almost like, I mean, Golden State first round picks is almost like trade $1 for a penny at this point, because regardless of what's going to happen, you know, and so if I can get, and I even did a trade machine. So like pretty much how the trade went was essentially KD. If I could get, I want Kaminga, I want Wiseman, Jordan Poole, and I want Andrew Wiggins. At least with there, I have a legitimate starting lineup. I have a all-star in Andrew Wiggins. I have two young core pieces, well, three young core pieces in Wiseman, Kaminga. I got a great front court down the line. And then I got a guy in Jordan Poole who could potentially be like a wild card. I wouldn't say he's going to be like, he could be somewhat of an intriguing piece, and then coupled with the other assets that we can get rid of, obviously like Kyrie Irving. What can we do with him? Can we get like a THT, get, somebody of that nature, or their 2029 draft pick who I think that kid will probably be like in the fifth grade now, potentially. So think about having a kid in the fifth grade that's probably going to be that Lakers pick in 2029. So, that's, I don't, and then I thought about Cleveland too. Cleveland would be intriguing too. But we talked about these destinations. I know you talked about New Orleans, man, and I talked about, Cleveland, Charlotte.
He threw Chicago. He threw Chicago.
Yeah.
KD, I seen something that he said, man, I don't want to. He said Lakers sound good, but I really would like to play in Chicago. I want to be great. Did y'all see that? I seen something like that.
The thing with that though is with Billy Donovan. I don't think he will, because he was unhappy with Billy Donovan. So that's the thing, and I'm telling you, when I went in those Bulls group and everybody went knee jerk, I was like, I gotta remember he's one of the main reasons why he left OKC. We got the assets. Don't get it twisted. But the coach there, and and you don't want to me, but I don't know. I just think they got the assets, but it's not gonna work with him and Billy Donovan. And I don't think they're gonna really, because they're gonna have to get rid of Billy Donovan if he wants to come to Chicago.
I mean, he had success with him. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the farthest.
Yeah.
With Billy Donovan is when they went to the finals, right?
Oh no, they had Scotty Brooks.
Yeah,
okay, that's all right. My bad. I got it mixed up. Well, look, man. Bottom line is the dude is never happy. I'm serious. I can't sit there and be like, man, like Westbrook loved OKC. You know what I'm saying? He did. He loved it. He loved everything about it. What does Kevin Durant love besides a backwood with some activists?
and that's the issue with Kevin Durant. Like you said, I don't think he's reached his happiness. And to kind of bring that parallel home with LeBron James, where pretty much circa 2011, LeBron just stopped caring about what anybody said, and look where he has been, because he used to be like a as far as going back at people, and then he had the burner phones and nothing, but he would be kind of going back and forth with people. But LeBron, hey, after that loss in 2011, it's full speed ahead. He's like, I don't even care. Like he can, he's gone on and just like, you know what?
Well, we answered the question. He needs to go to Phoenix. He needs to be with Chris Paul and Devin Booker. I think he'll be happy.
Yeah, but if I'm Sean Marks, you give me Devin Booker. And I know that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I ain't gonna happen.
But because to me, who you give me Mikal Bridges?
There's some dudes on that squad though. He could take.
Not my nephew. I don't like talk about Cam Johnson like that. But Cam Johnson.
Yeah, some people. Now, like for real, he get Cam Johnson. He can get Ayton. He can get Bridges.
What's the boy? Cameron Payne.
Yeah.
No, for real. Like I would take them because they solid. They solid.
But Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant. I got to get something from him. I'm not going to just take a Mikal Bridges, who is a good perimeter defender. He's a young guy, a good core piece. But I need to bring somebody in at least till I can say, hey, I want to say he had to put butts in seats, but I got to have something kind of somewhat of a box, somewhat of an attraction to bring. And it's got right. And if I'm Sean Marks, I'm sorry, Kevin. I know I want to do the best for you, want to look out for you, but Devin Booker's got to be in this trade. There's
Jordan,
no way.
Jordan, let me get in real quick. We did the same thing last year. Was it last year or was it the year before last with Harden? It was the year before last, or was it last year?
Who knows?
Year before last, right? So we having the same situation where I did an analogy about want to have a cheeseburger. And I was like,
Yeah.
and I broke it down. It's the same thing. What you're saying is basically, I got to get something for him. But if you have a star player that's basically saying, I want to be traded, you need to get him out of there. Don't be sitting there trying to hold him there,
Right.
especially them two, because of how they are and who they are. Not saying I believe Kevin Durant, he loves the ball. He'll
Yeah.
still ball, but I'm not holding them two guys there. I'm not holding somebody that asks for a request. I might not be able to get. They already took a L. Bottom line is anyway. You know what I'm
But
saying? They didn't pay them that money, and they. I'm almost done. They had paid them that money, and they hadn't really played like I thought. I think they should have been playing. I'm not holding them. You want to believe? I'm gonna try to get the best trade I can and get you out of here.
the difference between that and 2 years ago, there was a time ticking on that where it was intimate, like there was during the season. It is
Hmm.
July the 5th.
Right.
I
So this
have
time,
damn near 2.5 months before training camp.
I got you.
I am going to
Right.
take my time. I'm not me as Sean Marks. I gotta feed my kids. I gotta make sure that this goes array. Like I'm not just gonna be the knee jerk. I need to trade him today. I got plenty of time. And if push comes to shove, and the beauty thing about Kevin Durant, his asset is not going to diminish.
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, hey, and you think about it, ain't gonna be
Unless
like a
he
desperate thing where he only got 1 year left. That man got 4 years left on his
right.
deal.
Unless he
So,
get hurt.
But do you
but
really
yeah,
want a superstar that's going to be unhappy when you go into training camp? Yeah,
Yeah.
well, see, we are in
yeah,
July the 5th, but
right,
let's say that they don't trade him. Is he really going to be happy to be going through training camp? I've been there with Carmelo Anthony. He didn't want to be in Denver. And yeah,
yeah,
we got a pretty good deal back when we traded him to New York, but it was just an odd
yeah,
situation. You're going to have questions like, oh, where's Kevin Durant going to go? Are you going to trade him? It's just such a distraction. Yes, we're in July
yeah,
5th. I say you got to find a trade partner now. That way you don't have these questions hanging over once you get to training camp.
yeah. And I still think you got time. That's the
I
thing.
mean,
I
you
just don't
do.
want you to
You
be.
do.
I just don't want you to be like get the first deal and go like this is perfect where it's been 5 days. So I definitely thought he'd have been gone by now.
Mm-hmm.
So
And,
that kind of lets me know
right,
they're doing their
and
due
that's what
diligence.
Perk said. That's why I said I was listening. I was hoping nobody was going to say that. I was like, I got the strangest feeling. This might need to be real. I said because it's Kevin Durant, and you would have think they would have threw whatever they need through. I don't think Golden State doing anything. I
Mm-mm.
wouldn't. If I was going, I'm not doing anything. I'm straight. Exactly. Because know what's funny? They might have still won the championship the next year, even without Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
know that they might have still won the next year, even if they didn't go get Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't even want to go down that road again. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep. From Sean Marks, take your time. Like what they say to the deacon at the church. Take your time. Take your
And
time.
you
Mm-hmm.
always got the Raptors up there. Don't nobody really want to play up there, so you can always go up there and get real
Right.
talk.
And they got an interesting too, because now they want to put Scotty Barnes in that mix. And I'm
Hmm.
like, I don't not necessarily like Scotty Barnes is going to be like this all-star, but he's an intriguing piece to a puzzle where it would be really intriguing of how that would go. Obviously you'll put in some other guys in that mix as well, like you maybe a Siakam or Van Fleet or somebody, or some of that nature. But yeah. So fellas, we got to talk about our biggest